YouTube, how are you now? Not so bad. So finally returned to Apex Legends after many years away from the game. Found out they added a bot Royale mode. So against all bots, small area of the map, shortened, condensed version of the Battle Royale, but it's against all bots. So if you're returning to the game like me, who's been away for a long time, or you're new to the game and don't know what you're doing, like me, I don't know what I'm doing either. It's a good way to get back into the game, to practice the mechanics, to learn the weapons and all that kind of stuff, looting and the characters, and all the abilities, the maps. They do have, I think, the majority of the maps in rotation. The only map that I was able to play was the original one, King's Canyon or whatever it's called, but it showed the other maps in the rotation. It was just like every 10 hours or maybe longer than that, but it was 10 hours until the next map for me, so good way to get back into the game to practice. Unfortunate that it's only 24 total though, so you can play either solo or with friends, 2 other friends. So there's 21 enemy bots basically, 7 enemy teams. But the area of the map is quite large for that small amount of players, so definitely not gonna see all the enemies. You can feel pretty dead in the game. You have to definitely hunt down the enemies to try to get into fights, get in the action, that kind of stuff. It's not enough players, so I wish there were more bots. Just like the full experience. So from the beginning all the way to the end with 60 total in the lobby, if that's what it still is. I'm not even sure what it is anymore. But it used to be 60 total. So yeah, just wish that was the case. That way you could practice the combat a little bit more, because you can't really practice combat as much. But I think this game mode's more for people to practice their other games, so like looting and learning the maps, that kind of stuff. So makes sense, but I just wish they had more enemies, because similar mode in Warzone, their Warzone boot camp, they call it. Similar in style as practice mode, but it has over 40 total in the lobby, and I think it's a pretty small area of the map too, so you're able to get in the action a lot more. And then there's also more opportunities to come back, so you have the gulag, and then you also have buyback opportunities as well, and there's also real players mixed in there too. Not sure how many, but majority bots, but there are real players in there too, so a lot more opportunities for that 40 plus to come back again, whereas in this bot royale, I don't think any of the bots are smart enough to bring back the enemies or bring back their teammates, because the bots are pretty dumb. Understandable that they're dumb, because if you're trying to practice and learn, but they're pretty bad. So they did kill me here. They shot me up pretty good, but I'm a bot too, so what can you do? But yeah, watching them shoot each other, it's like, what are they even doing? So it would be nice if the bots were a little bit more like real players, maybe up their difficulty a little bit more, or have a little bit more randomness in them. So some are bad, but some are not so terrible, you know. They all pretty much behave the same. They all move in a straight line as a team and just stay pretty close to each other and move around the map together. So it would be nice if they had more bots and they had more variety in the bots, but it's a good way to practice, to learn the mechanics, learn the maps, learn the characters, that kind of stuff. But
they might be watching you.
I'm not really a fan of the whole hero shooter ability kind of thing anyway, so I don't care enough to put the time in to learn everything all over again, especially with the skill matching and that kind of stuff, if I were to play the real game. So if they didn't have strict skill matching, or didn't have skill matching at all in the regular modes, I would be more inclined to play. But since they still have skill matching, it's not really enjoyable. So if you're an average player, it's probably alright, but above average, not very enjoyable, especially if you're a solo player like me, or you play with mixed skill friends who maybe aren't as good as you, but the enemies are still going to be based on your skill level, you know. So always going to be at a disadvantage. That's not fun. So, understandable if every now and then you run into a good team, but if every team is above average, playing well together, team shooting, they're all above average skill, and you're a solo player or one good player in a mixed skill group, then just always going to be a disadvantage. Every gunfight, every game, every gunfight, and that's just not enjoyable. So I wish they would take out the skill matching, you know, for casual mode at least, because you would think the ranked would be the place to do skill matching. So if you want to play against similar skilled players, you'd go into ranked. But ranked is for casuals too, because it doesn't work the way that most players would think ranked would work, you know. Most players would assume in ranked play your rank, so what they show you your rank, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, whatever, is based on your skill level, but it's not. Ranked play is based on your hidden skill level, and then your ranks are basically your progression within your hidden skill bracket. So if you're a silver player, which the vast majority of average casual players would fall into probably silver or gold, that's as far as they would ever make it in rank, you know. So obviously it benefits them by making it where they only play against silver and gold skilled players, but they can move up through the ranks into platinum, into diamond, that kind of stuff, by only going against silver and gold players. So even in the higher ranks, if they're in platinum and diamond, they're still only playing against actual silver and gold skilled players. They'll never play outside of that skill range, which allows them to progress higher into those ranks. So it makes sense from a business standpoint. It keeps them playing, keeps them addicted, thinking they are better than they are, based on those visible ranks. But it's all a lie, you know. It's all a farce. Your hidden MMR determining your matchmaking, and then your visible rank is just your progression within that hidden MMR matchmaking. So not good for good players. Like, let's say if you're a diamond player, diamond skill player, even in bronze, silver, and gold, you're only going to be playing against other diamond skill players. So much harder to move up the ranks as a higher skill player unless you have a diamond skill team. So if you've got a 3-stack of all diamond skill players, then yeah, you can move up the ranks. But if you're a solo player or you're playing with mixed skill friends, you're going to have a hard time. You're going to be playing diamond skill lobbies, but in bronze, trying to move up to silver and gold, you know. Always at a disadvantage, so same thing. Not fun when you're always at a disadvantage, you know. Battle Royales are supposed to be random. Every game different, you know. But when skill levels are equalized, every game's the same. All the players play the same, basically, when you're in the higher skill levels. So just makes it unenjoyable. It's unfortunate. So they won't get rid of the skill matching. I wish they would at least get a better bot-only mode. I would much rather play just against bots than have to deal with this skill matching. But it's nice that they added this mode, but it's definitely not a real substitute. Definitely lacking. Even just in the design of it. So but it is what it is. The gunplay is good, the gameplay is fun. It's just I'm not really a fan of the whole hero shooter thing, character abilities and all that kind of stuff. So. And then the skill matching on top of that just makes me not want to play, you know. So. That's true of every game that has skill matching. That's why I don't really play battle royales. It's just not really worth it.
Only one way left to go.
Just get harder lobbies, harder enemies with nothing to show for it. So all the rewards are kills and wins, but it doesn't distinguish between the skill levels. So some people have easier lobbies, some people have harder lobbies, but all it shows you is kills and wins. So kills in those easy lobbies are same as kills in the harder lobbies. Kills in the wins in the easier lobbies are same as wins in the harder lobbies. Even though it's much harder to win in harder lobbies, but yeah. It's more a gripe against pretty much modern day gaming than it is Apex Legends, but Apex Legends follows the same suit, so unfortunate, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.